does what he needs to do to win. That's my point. So 150. I'm fine with that.
JJ doesn't. I'm so sick of this.
Two interceptions.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Interceptions. He cost y'all the game.
No,
he
I
cost
will not
Vikings
let you
the game.
open your mouth again.
JJ cost
McCarthy not being able to do what it takes to win. He literally ran for 2 touchdowns and passed for 2 touchdowns.
Last week,
he had a rushing touchdown and 2 touchdowns.
Last week,
him back against the Bears in Chicago in his home.
That was beginner's luck, man.
Straight to the action, there's a lot going on. Trying to lock these predictions down, right? Call me John. I'ma talk to Jared, cause he might keep me calm. Had my top pick for this week, but he bombed. Caleb said he had a weak week, but he's strong. Jonathan said he repeat, now it's on. In love with the game, who you got, can I wait? Drop by the door, come and watch, it's the bait.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorn Bay Podcast, and welcome to episode 4, week 3 recap episode. Man, this week 3 was interesting. It started off extremely slow. I got 0 notifications in fantasy until about 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard.
Terrible feeling.
Worried. We were like, this is a reenactment of week 1 of this year. And man, did the endings of the 1 p.m. slate, they showed up and showed out. That was one of the best endings. I think at one point they were showing simultaneous game-winning kicks.
Yeah.
Insane. I want to lead off with this first. NBC showed this stat that 7 games were decided in the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of regulation, and there were 9 non-offensive touchdowns. So there were some pick sixes, there were some scoops and scores, but most notably, there were 2 blocked field goals returned for touchdowns. We had the Jets do it and took the lead against the Bucs, and we had the Eagles do it on the last play of the game against the Rams to win it. They already had won. They were up by 1 point, but the Rams were going for the game-winning kick, and it was blocked by Jordan Davis and returned by Jordan Davis. We love a big boy touchdown. We really do.
Yes, we do.
And Caleb, since you're an Eagles fan, not only can you comment about that game, but you have some stats about special teams in general, because it's been just a day of special teams. There was also 2 punt returns for a touchdown. So tell me some interesting stat about special teams.
Well, John, you had something?
No, I was going to say, and there was one player that had an interception return for a touchdown and a fumble return for a touchdown and forced 2 fumbles, which was the first time in NFL history a player did that. That was Isaiah Rodgers for the Minnesota Vikings.
Was he always on the Vikings too? I feel like he might have been.
I don't know.
Was he on the Eagles? I might be mixing up my fantasy league, my Madden league. But no, I mean, talking about the Eagles and what you said, just tying it up, Jared, like, I was ecstatic. I mean, I have a group chat with all my Philly friends, and we were just unbelievable, like that dog, you know. And to be fair, it's easy to say it in hindsight, but on that second field goal attempt, I was like, I think we can do it. The way we were loading up, I think it was Davis and Carter on the same guy, like, and you hear after the game, Jordan Davis returns the touchdown, blocks the second field goal. First time that's been done in 17 years, I believe. 2 field goal blocks in the same game, I believe, was the stat I heard. I have to double check that. But yeah, the Eagles were the first to do it in 17 years. It was smart. And then Jordan Davis, I think, was talking after and was talking about like how sophisticated the special teams unit was about. They knew the arc that this kicker takes at the 30, 40 yard line. Like, and they knew which, like, the weaknesses. And it's like, and he said it almost verbatim, I'll tell you. He said, this, you know, a lot of people look at field goal units as just like, oh, you just kind of put them out there and do their thing. Like, no, I mean, teams that invest and think deeply about this pay dividends. And I tend to say that every year is like special teams does make the difference. This year, more than any other year, NFL every year has like a dumb idea. And I think this year their dumb idea is taunting penalties. It's a bit like the McCringleberry, the Key and Peele skit where it's like, oh, he taunted in the direction of a man. Let's penalize that. But if it's to the crowd, it's fine. That's the silliness. But I will give the NFL credit for the adjusted kickoff rules. I think there was a stat, I think on Red Zone, where it was like 2 years ago, 20% of kickoff returns were being returned. They were just getting kicked off into the end zone, out of bounds. This year, as of today, it's 80%. So they have adjusted the rules, and part of that was because a touchback, when the ball goes out of the end zone, is like at the 35-yard line. So teams are more willing to risk, getting it a little shorter. And I think that's made it a lot more fun football. a lot more risk, a lot more investment paying off for teams that do the special teams like you're talking about, Jared. But I will say, these coordinators got to start tuning into Dorm Debate, because we interviewed Ryan Fitzgerald at the Senior Bowl. I was happy to talk to him. And now the kicker for the Panthers, and accounted for 12 of their points, didn't miss anything. And I think there's a premium on kickers this year, especially shown by the Cowboys' Brandon Aubrey, of like kickers that are consistent and have some range. I know Fitzgerald hit a 57-yard, but let me tell you guys, this is a little back of the hand statistics. I just kind of went through each one, and it's changing because we're recording this as the Giants and Chiefs are playing, and there's still a game tomorrow. Guess how many field goals were missed today?
8, yeah. 8 or 9.
The number I counted was 15 across every game. Across every game. Now that can grow. I might be off a little bit, but I did the best, as I could. 15 field goals. That's 3 and one missed extra point for what I noticed. Now that can change. That could increase if anything, but that shows that the league is changing. And not only were there this talk, I think last week we talked about defensive lines getting stronger, bigger, faster. That does translate to the special teams units, because a lot of those same guys are on those units. So you're going to get a premium, even more so on kickers that are consistent, have range, because of the 35-yard line touchback rule. We saw that with the Cowboys 2 weeks ago. They just needed 15 yards to get into field goal range. Like, these teams are going to have to put an extra emphasis on special teams, and I think that's going to make for a lot more fun football, because it gives you a chance to come back,
Yeah, and the kickers are going to start earning higher salaries.
I mean, Aubrey, he's going to get it. I mean, right. I agree.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, remember when I said the Cowboys came back against the Giants 25 seconds? I mean, we saw it when the Rams got that drive. Remember, the Eagles scored. The Rams had like 1:40. Corum returned it to the 30-yard line. So obviously with these new rules, the kickers are incentivized to kind of kick it a little bit short of the end zone. You kind of want to land it at like the 5-yard line. But because of that, I think Elliott landed it at like the 10. Corum brought it out to the 30. I mean, look, 3 years ago, the touchback was to the 20. Now it's to the 35. So bringing it to the 30 is even better. And then the Bucks, like the Jets, blocked that kick, right? Took it all the way back. Then Baker Mayfield had 1:49. Plus, he got the ball at his own 35. All you need is 20 yards, and you could attempt a field goal. So it's like you have plenty of time. So I think this season we're going to see a record number of, like, Jared, you mentioned it, like 7 games decided in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're going to see even more of that throughout this season. So maybe the NFL, like, kind of was, I don't know if they thought about that, but definitely with increasing the amount of kickoffs that are returned, so we see more action there. Torrey Horton, of course, like returned one, but like we're going to see a lot more of that, to where these games are getting decided by 3 points, and teams are going to have a chance. And those kickers, Jonathan, you're right, they're going to have to get some respect.
Yeah, and that's why the NFL is king, right? No team, no sports leagues in America can compete with the NFL, because they give us what we want to see. There's so many superstars in the NFL. All the games are close. Every game's interesting. You don't know who's going to win. That's what we want to see. And so that's why NFL is the cash cow of sports leagues in America. But Caleb, back to the Eagles, block field goal. So congrats on the win.
Thank you.
But did y'all see Jordan Davis? Like, that big boy, he can run.
Yeah,
and there's a stat actually.
Yeah.
According to Next Gen Stats, he reportedly reached 18.59 miles per hour on the return, becoming the fastest player over 300 pounds to do that, according to Next Gen Stats.
He was moving.
That shows the specimen. I mean, he's a big boy moving, but it, like we talked about, like, it shows that these D linemen are not traditional, because before they were big boys and they have the size. Like, that's athleticism, like that's a sprinter he's not a huge guy, but like underneath that's a sprinter, right?
Yeah.
Like that just numbers showing it. It's crazy. Talking to John, you were saying historically, like Adam Schefter put a tweet. I'll read it. Tampa Bay is the first team in the Super Bowl era to record a game-winning score in the final minute of the fourth quarter in each of its first 3 games of a season.
Wow.
So do you guys, I think, I mean, I did say the taunting thing's dumb, but I got to give the NFL credit for getting this situation happening. I mean, you're right. I don't know if they thought about this, John, but I think it's better than, the almost 0% chance of an onside kick. And they also, I mean, from what I've seen, we'll see what the data says, but it seems like they tried to do the kickoffs. The kickoffs are one of the most dangerous plays, quote unquote, for injuries. And I think the way they line up is a little different than days gone. So it seems a little safer, but we're getting more returns. Do you guys like that this changes the dynamic of the final few minutes of the game? Do you think it's good for football?
I think so. And I think who's going to succeed out of this are the teams that have good coaching and the teams that have smart players, because Mahomes, we already saw tonight against the Giants. It's just Mahomes is so much smarter than the other team that he's going to, you just do this here, you do this there. It's like the teams that play smart and position the ball right. Bill Belichick would coach these kickers, land it right at the 2-yard line. I want to pin them back. So you want everything, every play matters. I don't care what you say. Every play matters, and the coach has to put emphasis on it. And every play you have to analyze what's going on. Where should I put this ball? What should I do? And the smart teams are going to win.
Well said.
Fundamentals, man. It's fun. And that's why, shout out to Fitzgerald on like 15 missed field goals I counted from other players. And I just think of all these coaches that, I look at the Falcons. It was against the Falcons the Panthers were playing. Fitzgerald's on the Panthers. They just switched from Younghoe Koo. Their new guy, I think, missed 2 field goals.
He missed the first 2 kicks.
Yeah. So I'm like, all these coaches, and amongst all the other coaches in the league, Fitzgerald was there the whole time. I think they're going to have to reevaluate how they sign these players or what they're willing. I almost would rather consistency, as opposed to the variable. Because I think a few years ago, they also narrowed the goalposts a little bit, which has helped. I think that's made it better than guaranteed. But I know I like talking special teams. I think it's fun. We interviewed Reed Ferguson, and that came up big a few weeks ago. Even last week, I think there was a penalty on him last week, and that got the Bills on Thursday. Sorry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
about?
Yeah.
Jalen Knoll, we interviewed.
Yes.
And he said in the interview he wanted to make a splash on special teams, and he sparked that comeback for the Texans, and they should have won that game. But yeah, special teams is big now.
All right, so we're going to get into our second segment of the podcast, which is a very familiar one to us, Panic or Patience. I believe we do this around week 2 or week 3 of every season, and it's a fun one because it really divides the podcast. Usually we have half the podcast is overreacting, half the podcast is underreacting and staying patient. Normally Kayla's patient with everybody, so we're going to really test him on this one and really see if we can get him to panic. It's hard to get Caleb to panic. So we have a couple teams here. The first one we got is the 0-3 Houston Texans. So recently, week 3 today, they just lost to the Jaguars 17-10. Then in week 2, they lost to the Bucks 20-19, and then in week 1, they lost to the Rams 14-9. So right off the bat for me, if I want to kind of kick this off here, is like the Houston Texans. We all thought, or most of us thought, that they were going to win the division. So this is kind of why we have the Texans as one of the top teams on here as Panic or Patience. So a lot of teams, and a lot of people and a lot of media thought that Houston Texans would be cruising in the AFC South.
The Jags. just to remind everybody.
Well, the Colts are in first, so. So let's start off. I'll start with. I am actually going to be patient with the Texans.
Yeah, I'm full on panic mode. The season's over.
Are you serious?
Throw it out, tank. It's done.
I'm going patience.
I'm going panic. I agree with John. This is scary. This is sad. This is scary.
Already?
Yes, all right. Yes. So here's you really got no run game. Nick Chubb, I love the guy, but
that is a problem.
Yeah. You have no
really
run
love
game.
the guy.
That's the issue.
I'm looking at the numbers.
No run game, and the
60,
offensive line. The offensive line is not good. It's true or false? All right, you guys that are being patient. True or false? CJ Stroud has more interceptions than touchdowns on the season.
It's a trick question, so don't make me look stupid. Just say it.
So yeah, it is true. He has more interceptions than touchdowns. 3 interceptions to 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins looks good, but everybody on the opposing defense knows that they're throwing the ball to Nico Collins. Mm-hmm. So where else are you going to throw the ball to? Christian Kirk is finally back from his hamstring injury, so maybe that kind of opens things up. But Jaden Higgins hasn't been involved. Jalen Knoll hasn't really been involved. It's really the run game. Woody Marks has got to get into it. But guys, they have a tough schedule. They got to play some tough teams. They're going to play the Titans next week. I don't know if that's a lock. Then they got to go at the Ravens, at the Seahawks.
You don't know if the Titans is a lock?
I don't know.
That's how panicked you are?
They got to play the Bills.
Wow,
they got to
you really
play the
mean it.
Chiefs. They got to play the Chargers at some point. I mean,
Yeah,
guys, I don't know
between,
how
though, they got a
this
few.
team is not making the playoffs.
Yeah, their schedule. Like I agree. Look at their schedule, man. There's no way they're making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're
they
done.
can't.
It's a lot. It's a clunky schedule. Like there are some clear tough ones, but then there are some ones that I'm like that is winnable in my opinion. Like Tennessee,
But how do you
Seattle,
see them winning
Denver.
games? Because they scored 9 points in week 1, 19 in week 2, and 10 against the Jaguars. So like, do you see their defense getting better,
terrible.
offense getting better?
Well, the 3 games you mentioned were all 1-score games. I mean, they lost by 5 to the Rams, 1 to Tampa, 7 to Jacksonville. Like that defense is holding them to 1-score games. If Stroud cleans up the interceptions, that if he cleans up the interceptions, which is a big ask. I mean, well, if he does 50% better, they might win more of those games, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest point that you pointed out that is a hurdle is, and like you said, I like Chubb. I have nothing against him, but week 1 he had 60. That's the most. Week 2 he had 43 rush yards, 38 in the third week. Like they don't have a run game, which puts a lot of pressure on Stroud. The thing is, there was a sophomore slump last year, and I think there's that happens because it's not just that it happens because it happens, but like year 1, sometimes people realize, oh, this is a good quarterback. Let's target him. Let's point out his weaknesses, really attack him. And there's like a learning curve to like, oh, this is how teams are playing me. That's happened to Stroud. I think without a run game, you really ask a lot of him. And I think the Texans defense is strong. The point is, these are 1-score games. They're not getting blown out. I will be patient. My question mark is the run game. And 2 is if they can handle that kind of attention and target on their back, because they were the dark horse the past 2 years. And coaching wise, can they understand that? Can they work around that? That is a bigger question mark, but it's too soon. I mean, Stroud, my thinking is there fundamentally something there that can carry them forward? And it's like Stroud can clean that up, and the defense is good. They have a shot. It's statistically they have a shot. They just got to win some of these.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, see, this is kind of CJ Stroud. It's unfortunate, but he is like this streaky quarterback. Like even into last season, when they made the playoffs, we all remember they crawled into the playoffs. I think they lost like 4 of the last 6 games or something like that.
Good point.
And so they crawled in the playoffs, and then they faced the Chargers and they whoop them. And so I think there's something with CJ Stroud where he has these stretches of just being really, really bad, and then he finds it, and he's really, really good. He's just an inconsistent, streaky guy. But the overall like consensus about Stroud is that he is a very talented quarterback. And so I'm going to lean on that they have a very talented young quarterback, but the emphasis on young. And then you look at the receivers. Nico Collins, I would say he's a veteran receiver, but you lost Stephon Diggs, veteran. You lost Laramie Tunzel, veteran on left tackle. Now you have Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. Christian Kirk just came back from the injury.
They need a playmaker.
It's just a lot of young guys and not a lot of veterans on this team. And so I think it's expected that there's this slow start. And to be honest, if you looked at week 1, 2, and 3, in my head, they shouldn't beat the Rams and they shouldn't beat the Bucs. I think the Bucs and the Rams are both better teams. So the game that really sealed it for everybody was like, okay, the Rams are good. We can say that you lost to them. Bucs, okay, you can say you lost to the Jags. Okay, now we got to step back.
Right.
Because the Jags were like on a freaking downhill spiral, and then they lose to them, and it's like, whoa. But like Caleb said, this defense is good. I think with CJ Stroud putting him in really bad positions, 14, 20, and 17 are pretty good. So, especially when the Rams put up however much against the Eagles defense. So, overall, you can see the potential, but not everything is clicking at the same time. And so that's what I think is going to happen with Stroud. He's going to finally, after 3 games, he's going to be like, now he's in his streaky mode. He's going to be really good for a midpoint in the season. But let's be honest, guys. How good do you need to be in the AFC South? Like, they only lost by 3 against the Jags, and they played one of the worst games
Jones,
ever.
Daniel Jones.
Oh, now we're
Don't even
Now
get me
everyone
started
knows.
on the Colts. The Colts are the fakest team out here, honestly.
Jonathan
we're
Taylor,
still slandering.
Jonathan Taylor is good.
Look.
Jonathan Taylor is good. But let's not act like the Colts beat any good teams. They would lose to the Rams and they would lose to the Bucks.
Dude.
The Broncos.
Now you can't
The
say
Broncos
it. Now
are
you
1
can't
and
say it.
2.
Dude, the Broncos have a good defense.
The Chargers
No, they
barely
don't.
beat them. The Chargers
You thought they
barely
did.
beat
You
them.
thought they did. They don't. Look at their past games. They've been awful.
They held the Chargers to 23.
23 points. You know what? The Texans didn't give up 23 points yet. I'm telling you.
The only way the Texans is if Joe Mixon somehow miraculously comes back, but we haven't even heard about him because he's still hurt and nobody even knows an update.
I mean, there's still time for them to
Yeah, that's
find
true.
a good running back. I don't know if that's salvageable. I think it's going to be on Stroud. I hate to say it's going to be on Stroud for him
Kirk coming back will help.
to stop turning the ball over, and they respect the pass game and then open up the run. Woody Marks is the rookie from USC. Hopefully he starts to hit his stride. But again, look, you got a rookie running back. Like, the only veteran is Nick Chubb. But, you know, he isn't a guy that's going to be like, go out there and lead the team by example. He's just going to be a vocal guy. And he's not even a vocal guy. He's quiet as hell. So if I have Nick Chubb in my room, he's not going to be, you know, in the center like Jameis Winston preaching to everybody to win the game.
He'll be quietly
So-
respecting your space and
Exactly.
You know,
So
won't
it's just
wake you
it's a young team. It's unfortunate, but look, you don't have to be that good in the AFC South. I'm telling you, the Colts will plummet eventually. Everything will level out in the AFC South. You guys are freaking out, but
Jared,
Colts aren't on here.
If you look at their schedule, there's no way they're coming back from this.
yeah, there's
man.
just no way.
There's just no way.
They
Are-
play
of-
okay. They play the Jags again. They play the Titans 2 more times.
Okay, and what else?
Okay.
I mean,
They
that's
played
pretty
the
good.
Colts
That's at
2
least four.
times.
The Colts.
The Colts. Yeah.
Colts are not good. I'm telling you guys.
Dude, they got to play the Chiefs. They got to play the Bills. They got to play the Chargers. They got to play the 49ers
With
who
a
are
good
undefeated.
Okay, who do
Defense.
the Colts have to play? We can go through the whole schedules of everything. It's
Yeah,
like
but
we're
Colts
get-
are already 3-0
You
and
don't-
Texans are 0-3.
And the
That's
Chiefs,
a big difference.
Chiefs are
It's
1
one-
and 2. So like, if you just go by record, it doesn't matter. Like,
Well, like, look, I think of it. Why I am patient is I'm curious what you guys will say. If you had to pick, if you're a fan of either franchise, are you not more optimistic for the future with Stroud as your quarterback than if you were the Dolphins with Tua or
Daniel
Lawrence
Jones.
and the Jaguars? I mean, amongst the three, you could include I don't know if I'd include the Colts yet, but between Tua, Stroud, and Lawrence, who would you guys rather have right now?
100%.
I'd rather Stroud.
So
So that's why I'm
That's
more
a tough one. They all
Right?
suck right now, to be honest.
they do all suck.
Fair, but like it seems like the future's brighter with Stroud. Maybe because we haven't seen as much, but that's ultimately why I'm not panicking. I think the schedule isn't as bad as there are worse schedules out there, and their defense is good, which makes it possible for all sorts of craziness to happen. It's just too early. Too early.
How about, is it too early to panic on the Atlanta Falcons? They recently just got blown out by the Carolina Panthers 30-0. I
I
don't
haven't
know.
heard those words ever.
I don't know. I've been alive
Been
a long
years.
time, and I don't think I've ever seen the Panthers blow a team out since probably Cam Newton.
Yeah, I forgot that era when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. Like I was like,
2015,
oh, yeah.
15-1 or something.
When they were Super Donovan, I forgot about that. Kuechly, Olsen,
crazy.
Yeah.
Newton. I was like, because they've been bad for so long. I forgot.
Yep.
They had a little blip, and now they're back to sucking. Week 2,
An anomaly.
they beat the Vikings in Minnesota. Great win. Week 1, they lost to the Bucks 23-20. But the big thing that came out of this game, obviously they got shut out, but Kirk Cousins actually came in, and so I think the panic comes from the quarterback room. Is Michael Penix the guy? Is he ready? Or should they throw in Kirk Cousins and try to save this season? So, guys, panic or patience on the Atlanta Falcons? I'm going to say panic.
I'm going to say the opposite, patience.
I'm gonna go panic.
I'm going to go patience.
We're split again.
So we just
I told
split
you.
the same split.
This
This
game
is
is
not
always
pre-
50-50.
We're not trying to get clips. This is just what happens organically.
we're not
I can't. I'm okay.
farming.
Well, but why, guys? Why the
Well,
patience?
okay, look, the division is pretty bad. I know the Bucks are
Oh,
3-0.
now we're going to talk about divisions when they have the Bucks. The
No,
Bucks.
the
Bucks
Saints
don't get no
the Saints
respect.
are they're going to get the Panthers again at home. Look, they beat the Vikings. The Vikings are good.
The good.
So
Yeah, that
JJ
shows
was
that-
injured.
I don't know. I really I was watching the game today against the Panthers. I don't really know what happened, but I think the Falcons just need to forget that it even happened. Like, just move on and just
you can
be
have
like,
games like that.
yeah, like you're just gonna. I mean,
Just
there's
ignore
teams
it.
that have just been blown out and they recover from it. So just like forget it even happened. Michael Penix go back in. But Jared, you said it when we were watching the game. Why aren't they taking any deep shots? Darnell Mooney is now healthy. He could take a deep shot to him. Drake London. That's what Penix was so good at in college, throwing to Rome Odunze down the frickin' sideline. Like, what the heck? So get this guy involved, throw some deep balls. You got Bijan Robinson. I think they just need to forget about it. But look, they're in the right division to be able to come back. They have a bye in 2 weeks, so they're going to be able to regroup. They got to play the Dolphins, Patriots, Colts, Panthers, Saints, Jets. I mean, Cardinals. They're going to be fine. The schedule isn't too difficult. They're going to be okay. I think they're going to be able to make a playoff push.
They're not going to win the division, though.
No, they won't win the division.
So
but
how are they going to get in?
NFC sucks, dude.
So how are they going to get into the playoffs, though?
There's 3 wild card spots.
So if you went through them, you'd have the Commanders, and then you'd have 2 NFC North teams, probably the Packers
Vikings,
and
Lions.
Cowboys.
the Packers and
I mean, Giants.
Vikings.
Maybe there isn't room if the Giants.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like with the AFC South with the Texans, it's the same thing. You either win the division and make the playoffs, or you're not getting in because
I mean, if you
AFC's more shallow,
if you
I
remember,
think.
this division came down to like the last game last year.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
Falcons. So like. It honestly, the division. I know that the Bucks are 3-0 and Falcons are 1-2, but it's not the division's not set. I mean, Mike Evans got hurt his hamstring. Godwin should come back, but I mean, look, the Bucks got to play the Eagles next week, and the Falcons don't have to play the Eagles at all.
Forgot about that. The Bucks play us really well. Mark my word. I said this about the Rams. Two teams always play the Eagles really well for some reason. I don't know how or why. It's the Bucks and the Rams. They just to give us a run for money, not to cut you off. I just wanted to get that out there. So we'll see how it goes next week, but I'm not excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I view panic and patience, if they have a good chance of making the playoffs, panic, there's no, probably 0% chance, okay, that they can make the playoffs.
Right.
And so the Falcons has a chance, okay? They have a lot of great athletes. It wasn't Michael's day. And so, I think
they kind of like was built. It was going off momentum. They drove down the field. The kicker missed it. They drove down the field. The kicker missed it. They're like, all right, what the hell are we doing?
And I really think they underestimate the Panthers though. They're like,
they definitely did a little bit.
Which is a fundamental
that
coaching.
happens sometimes.
We can't underestimate your opponent in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL is the top 0.1% of college. You know, like you can't do that.
I don't think the Saints could beat Michigan right now.
Oh yeah, they would annihilate them.
Nah, Bryce Under was
all right.
Good. Bryce Under was better than
You don't
Rattler
think
and
Alvin
Shaw.
Kamara?
Shaw.
Alvin Kamara would score 10
washed.
touchdowns.
The way they tackle in college, no disrespect, but Kamara, would go off. It put him in fantasy. The reason I'll panic with the Falcons.
Yeah, I want to hear your thing, Caleb.
It's because I actually think the AFC as a whole is shallower because the NFC we're probably talking about wild card spot if everything goes as we expected. Again, everything has to be earned in the NFL, but it looks like the Bucks would win the division. If that stays, you're looking at maybe the Commanders. I'll throw the Cowboys in there for Jonathan's sake. Vikings, Lions, maybe
Lions
Rams,
win the division.
Packers, Vikings.
or Packers. Like there's 3 contenders in NFC North. Is what I'm saying. Like
They beat the Vikings.
There is at least 6 other
JJ
teams.
was injured.
There's 6 other teams in the NFC that I think have a better shot of taking those.
Carson, anyways.
In terms of if you did like a tier ranking,
points with.
Carson's better than JJ. Let's just say it.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
Caleb.
Okay, no, I won't.
Yes.
I'm
At this point in time,
This is how I know
right
you don't
now,
watch games.
No,
This is how I
right
know you
now,
don't watch football.
no.
I know
right
you don't
now,
watch football. You're a liar. You were at a fucking event. You didn't watch the game.
I watched it.
How many
I watched
defensive
it.
touchdowns did they have? You can't even say it. You can't even say it.
No. Let me. Carson Wentz
passing
is better than
touchdowns?
Jordan Mason ran for 2.
Carson Wentz is better than
And
JJ
2
McCarthy.
defensive touchdowns.
It's not just about touchdowns
And
brother.
interceptions that
It's not
put him
just
like right
Carson
to the
Wentz
goal
was
line.
better. Why
Watch
isn't
the
he starting?
He should start. They're trying to give the young guy a chance, okay? But he's blowing it. Really, he's blowing it. So
Oh,
Carson
really?
Wentz is looking
He
good.
was hurt.
Because he
Mark
came
it on the wall.
back. He
Hey,
came
hey,
back in Chicago.
hey,
he
mark
came
it on the
back
wall.
and beat the Chicago Bears in Chicago and did all that. But
Mark it on the wall.
One game and now you're gone. After he was injured, he had a high ankle sprain in the third quarter.
Today's
fourth
September
quarter.
21st. So today's September 21st, 2025. Remember these words. There will be quarterback controversy Carson Wentz, JJ McCarthy. Who should start?
When?
You heard it here
When?
on Dorm Debate Podcast with Jonathan. Thank you.
When is that going to happen?
It starts now. Watch. All these media people start talking about this week, and then it's going to bleed over. Carson Wentz is going to.
Dude, I don't know what your love is with this
you're
man,
getting on
but
your
you need
knees.
to get off of him.
You're getting on your knees for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean,
173 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Think about last week and think about this week.
The guy's
night and day.
washed. He's washed
night
and
and day.
dried.
It's night and
I
day.
don't know if you really believe this, Jonathan. You're just trying to get a rise out of
I knew he was going to say it.
No.
That's why I prepared it in my head. I knew he was going to say it.
Don't get me
He
wrong.
fucking
AJ
hates me.
No,
he hates
no, no,
the
no, 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 no.
Chargers. He hates
No,
the
no, no.
Giants. He hates the Eagles. He hates Michigan players.
AJ's not
Literally
ready.
doesn't side with
doesn't
any
like
of us.
JJ is
doesn't
not
like
ready.
Big Ten.
Give him like another year to sit under Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz more experience. This is like a 6th team he's been on in the past 6 years. Or
You were
something.
So
real
why isn't he
quiet.
starting? Why?
You were real quiet
They're
after week
trying
one.
to give. They're
You were
trying to
real
give
quiet.
the young. They're trying to give the young guy a chance.
Yeah,
That coach,
and then-
coach. I forgot his name. Coach Kevin, whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
you don't watch it. You
O'Connell.
don't watch the games.
Yeah, Coach
You
Kevin.
don't watch the games.
Yeah,
They-
McConnell. He's trying to give his young guy a chance. You just came to the NFL. You're trying to
He's
be
the
confident that you're
future.
actually good. He's a future.
Wentz is
so
not
that's
the
exactly.
future.
Yeah, but Wentz is better now. You want to win now, or you want to wait?
I think it's
that's just-
hilarious, Jonathan, because
right?
when
If you want to win now, put Carson in. If you want to build on the next few years, then you know what to do. Put JJ in. But if I was Justin Jefferson, I want Carson in. Put Carson Wentz in there.
But when Carson Wentz is quarterback of the Eagles and Jalen Hurts is right behind him, you suddenly want Jalen Hurts instead of Carson Wentz.
That's life. The opportunity came. The opportunity came for Carson Wentz to shine, and he shined.
Really? I want you to read every single stat line of Carson Wentz. Tell it to
Okay,
me
let's
right
see.
now.
Okay, that's fine. Dude.
If my jaw doesn't drop, then he did not shine.
Let's see.
Yeah, you don't even have it.
No, I'm finding it. I'm finding
You
it. I'm
literally
finding it.
backed this guy with your life and you don't even know the stats?
Okay, here we go.
You did
Boom.
what?
That's all I need. Okay. Carson Wentz. Let me tell you.
Watch, hang on. Say something for 1 second. I guarantee on my life he's going to say something about quarterback rating. I guarantee.
No.
my life.
I'm not even getting to that. I'm not even going to get to that. But 14 of 20, 173 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the most important thing, 0 interceptions.
He
Okay?
barely threw it though.
Okay, well let's look at JJ McCarthy last week. Okay, I hate.
He was injured. He was
No.
injured.
We're not doing that.
Let's
We're
do
not
game
doing
by game. Let's do Carson Wentz's first game and JJ McCarthy's first game. Let's do it. Let's do it.
No, we're not doing that. We're not going to say he's.
Oh,
injured.
you don't want to do it because you're cherry picking.
No,
these
who
little
said that?
games.
One of the coaches like, I don't care if you're injured, get off the field. You can't use that as an excuse. Okay. Whoa. JJ McCarthy lost to the Falcons, and then the Falcons get stomped today by the Panthers.
Jonathan, do you not hear my
Okay, let me
words?
just.
Game by game. If Carson Wentz game 1 to JJ's game 1.
Okay. Here we go.
Let's do it.
JJ McCarthy last week against the Falcons. 11 of 21. He barely threw it too, but 11 of 21, 158 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I rest my case. Carson Wentz. Put Carson Wentz in there. You heard it now.
That was with a high ankle sprain, brother.
No.
Go to the
We're
fully
not
healthy game.
We're
Go to
not
the
going to
fully
use
healthy
excuses.
game. That's
Dude.
all I'm asking.
Over half the league is injured. Something's wrong with them.
Oh, okay.
They still play through it. You can't use excuses.
Get out of here.
Dude, look, don't get me wrong. I like JJ McCarthy, but I'm saying if you're looking to win now as a Vikings, Carson Wentz needs to be in there. Carson Wentz
And
should
if
start
you're
right
listening
now.
on
And
audio,
prove
that is Jonathan talking.
Yes, Jonathan. You heard it here first.
That is
I predict the
Jonathan
future.
backing with his life Carson
Yes.
Wentz. I just want everyone to know.
For this year, right now, right here, right now, Carson
Okay,
Wentz.
so when Carson Wentz shits the bed in a couple weeks, you're going to be like, well, right now he was
Wait,
good.
wait,
He's a
wait,
better option than JJ.
Guys, we have a perfect opportunity.
Oh, what's
They
the-
play. They play.
No,
what?
so Carson Wentz is going to start next game, right? Because JJ is still hurt.
Yeah.
Vikings play next week in Dublin on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, if he does well against the Steelers, what would he have to get for us to say that he's good?
0 interceptions. That's the most important
Okay,
thing.
so
Yeah.
and a win.
Why are we acting like the Steelers
win?
are good defense?
A win
A win. 0 interceptions.
over 150 passing yards. I'm fine.
No,
No, I'm fine with that. Yeah, 100, over 100.
This is
150,
what I'm
dude,
saying.
that's
He
nothing.
said-
I'm fine with that.
You need 200. You need 200.
Okay, fine, 200. But they don't need he does what he needs to do to win. That's my point. So 150, I'm fine with that.
JJ doesn't. I'm so sick of this.
Two interceptions.
I'm so sick
Two
of this shit.
interceptions.
I'm
He
sick
cost
of
y'all the
it.
game.
No,
He
I
cost
will not
Vikings
let
the
you
game.
Open your mouth again.
JJ
about
cost-
McCarthy not being able to do what it takes to win. He literally ran for 2 touchdowns and passed for 2 touchdowns.
Last week,
he had a rushing touchdown and 2 touchdowns.
Last
Brought
week?
him back against the Bears in Chicago in his home.
That was beginner's luck, man.
state.
Dude, that was beginner's luck. We saw it. We
That
saw
was
it. What happened?
beginner's luck. So Carson Wentz, one
beginner
game
luck.
in, beginner's luck. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, that was
so
beginner's
if he
luck.
has
You
two
get,
good
people get
teams-
lucky, man. People get
All right,
lucky.
we'll
He got lucky his
we're
first game.
gonna
All right,
see
Carson
next
Wentz got
week.
lucky. Don't say
No,
shit.
Carson Wentz. Carson
He
Wentz.
got lucky. He
been-
got lucky. You
Carson
can't
Wentz
say
has been
anything.
doing
He got
that.
lucky.
No. Carson Wentz has been doing
I
that.
don't even want to hear it. I don't
He's been
want to
doing
Let me cut through the smoke. Let me cut through the smoke real quick. Let me cut through the smoke real quick with a comment that favors both of y'all, because this is my real thoughts. One thing, we're going back to the Falcons. Panic, right? One debate that we've talked about is quarterbacks in their first year getting thrown into the fire. You know, you mentioned Kirk Cousins, Jared. I wonder if the Falcons, when they drafted Bijan Robinson, was a great pick. I wondered openly, as we have recording to this, of what long term are they doing? Because I don't think their receiving core has a playmaker in an explicit way yet. They're good players, but my point being is, would it have helped Penix to learn a year behind Cousins? Because the greats of today, Hurts, Mahomes, Allen and Lamar, I think started right away. But there's benefit towards sitting a year and learning. The other part of it, though, that I want to cut through the smoke, though, is
JJ sat.
JJ was injured. That's not the same thing.
There's a comparison with JJ McCarthy and Burrow, in that Burrow his rookie year was hurt for a long time, came back and in the second year won the Super Bowl with a good team. And honestly, we've talked about this, is that when quarterbacks are still in their rookie contract, is a good time to get to the Super Bowl or aim for it, because you have the talent of a premier player without having to invest all that money and being able to get it. And the Vikings have a good team. So that is a point towards the camp of there's precedent for a guy sitting out the year and then being in the NFL, being on the sideline and then coming in like McCarthy. So a bit of a, example A, example B, Burrow has been, it's possible, but we should move on because it's tempers are flaring.
Yeah,
I think you both have presented interesting points, but I wanted to put that out there as a little equal perspective for people listening, that there's precedent towards letting these guys sit. Even Tom Brady, I think, talked about fundamentally these quarterbacks should be sitting a year. Not every time, but
at least
teams don't do that anymore. They just want to find their talisman and get them right away. But then the other end of it is that because of the rookie contract, where they only have to pay them a certain amount for 4 years, I think, is the time to invest in your team and build on them. So we'll see how it turns out. I mean, the Vikings look really good, and we'll see.
And Caleb, just to clarify, there's a difference between sitting out when you're injured and just watching, just trying to understand it mentally. And then Mahomes, for example, he didn't start, but he got reps at practice. He was healed.
That is
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
Jason McCarthy hasn't got any reps. He didn't
Makes
get
you-
much reps last year.
Reminds me of Baker, where Baker's been I don't want to say tossed around, but he was at one point on the scout team, I think, for the Panthers or something. He was playing on a D lineman, and every person is unique in their story, and it doesn't help when you're moving situations all the time. So it comes down to the grit of the individual person, I think. But there was one more team. Jared, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, we'll skip that one because I feel like we'll wait on them.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to the Speak Pipe segment of the podcast.
Let's go.
Which basically is you guys leaving voice messages for us to then play on the podcast. So if you want to share a voice memo about your hot take in the NFL season, or just your reaction from week 3 or whatever week it is, we will play on the podcast and then talk about it. So I think last pod we played one from Will, and that was a 2026 Super Bowl prediction.
A lot of love on that prediction on the TikTok. Comments loved you.
People
loved
loved
your
it.
take. So
This is for you, Jonathan. Number 1 Cowboys hater.
Okay.
Oh, hey, let's go. I like this guy.
Man, I'm watching the game right now, and this Cowboys and Bears game is terrible, man. Jonathan, you should be disappointed. I have CD Lamp in fantasy, and why in the hell are y'all lining him up in the backfield? The Cowboys, bro, I'm so done with them, bro. Worst team in the NFL.
All right, so I feel like Jonathan.
he's a
let's-
Cowboys fan. Okay.
Well, I don't know if he is a Cowboy. Did he say that?
He said he was done with them, meaning
Yeah, I don't know. He
he's
just said
I think
number 1
he is a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys.
I don't know.
He
Let's
said
unconfirm.
number 1 Cowboys
hater. Jonathan,
Yeah, you got to
What
rebuttal.
are your
there.
thoughts? What are
So
your
wait,
feelings?
to clarify, he's talking about when CeeDee Lamb got injured, they lined him up as a running back, and
That's crazy. I didn't know
that's the
that.
play that he gets injured on. So Jonathan,
Why did they do that?
You probably felt the same.
Yeah, why did they do that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, that was I did feel the same when I saw that. That was one of the stupidest things I could ever imagine the Cowboys doing. You have to know your players. CeeDee Lamb doesn't look like that type of guy that can run the ball like that. He's like a pretty boy receiver. He doesn't like to get hit. We went to see him. He didn't like to be cold. And he's not built to be a running back. So the way he got tackled, you can tell he wasn't used to being tackled like that. He hasn't ran the ball often. So that was kind of a stupid random play. I know they're trying to. A lot of teams are trying to copy off of Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel's just built different. He's built to get hit. Like he's that type of.
He's thick.
He's thick. CeeDee Lamb's not that type of guy. So I don't know who came up with the idea. The person that did, the offensive coordinator, like that was
I think
stupid.
it's your
So I
head
agree.
coach.
Yeah, I mean,
Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer, that was the most
he's calling the plays. So.
And CeeDee Lamb's not even that like fast or that athletic, really.
Like it's an end around. What are you going to get? Like 2 yards, 3 yards?
Yeah,
Is it
that
really
was
worth it?
I think it's
like
offense
that was
brain.
stupid.
Like when you're in the playbook drawing them up and you're just not because interesting you pointed out. I remember one play the Eagles ran Devontae Smith, and Smith is resilient, rarely gets hurt, but he looks skinny. Like you're kind of surprised. There was one play I think a year or two ago where they ran him up the middle or something, and I'm like, why are you doing that with him? Like, don't do that. So Jonathan, sorry, I just wanted to add, like I don't know what makes these teams. I mean,
That
you
was
risk
stupid.
it, but why? You know,
Why? And like, it's not like CeeDee Lamb has done so well the past few games. You're trying to reward him and put him in different positions. He's costed the game. Like the first game, he dropped so many, like 4, like really important passes. He dropped it. So I didn't understand that. He's not like the best athlete in the field that you give him the ball. And yeah, I didn't understand why they did that. So I completely agree with that comment. I am done with the Cowboys for today. Then I'm gonna be in love with them again tomorrow. But it's disappointing against the Bears. That's sad. Like,
Yeah,
I
the
don't wanna-
Bears, they just allowed 52 to the freaking Lions.
yeah, that's sad. I mean, I don't know. Maybe teams. I do feel teams play Cowboys harder for some reason. Everyone hates the
No.
Cowboys. Yeah,
It's
They play 'em
amazing.
harder.
You're
Why?
always on national television.
Maybe it's Jerry Jones. They just want to beat him.
No, I think it's you're always on national television, and they know that you're gonna get like either like
America's
4 o'clock.
America's game of the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to do some research on if there's a correlation between playing like the Cowboys and then getting like a contract extension in terms of like if you perform well against the Cowboys, what does that correlate to? Like,
You're not going to find that. What?
I don't know. There has to be some
Get off your high
step correlation. I'm just saying because that's what it feels like. It
for
really
the
does.
marketability of these guys. Would you say if you had to pick one, if it was more of one, was it more that the Cowboys lost this or more that the Bears won this?
I will say the Bears, like the trick play, like the Bears really needed this. They really were desperate for a win.
That's true. That's
especially
true.
since last week they were embarrassed. So I will give the Bears credit. They look good. Like the trick play was nice, well executed. But I also think the Cowboys, we're not clicking. We're not clicking. right
Jerry's calling you. You just badmouth them.
Yeah.
Censorship's happening to the podcast.
Is that what you say?
Jonathan,
Yeah, but I'm scared. I'm scared for the Cowboys the next 2 games. Like I knew once I saw the Giants and went to overtime, they're excited. Yeah, like I was like, oh, we're in trouble.
Right, because that was a mid-off. That was your defense putting up so many. It was like for football fans and non-Giants, non-Cowboys fans, this was a good shootout. If I'm a fan of those teams, I'm like, our defense has to lock in.
Sorry, Butker missed a field goal.
I just saw that.
No, it was the extra point.
Okay. I mean, it's still a
Surprise.
boring game, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I just saw that, though.
all right, we got another one recent, like just now, 5 minutes
Okay.
ago. So I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Drew Zensky.
Okay.
Jacksonville receivers having the highest drop rate in the NFL is not a coincidence. It's the quarterback.
Drew, I think you're on to something.
It's the quarterback. Is it because of inaccuracy or is it quarterback?
I mean, I just got this 5 minutes ago, so I have no research. But yeah, he's talking about Trevor Lawrence, quarterback at Jacksonville Jaguars, highest drop rate in the NFL. So, I mean, one thing that we should point out, and John, I don't know if you'll have some fantasy stat to it, but Brian Thomas Jr. is so underwhelming this season, and he doesn't even look like he wants to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I told people not to draft him in fantasy because
You did?
Yeah, because if you remember last year when he broke out, it was with Mac Jones at quarterback. Him and Trevor Lawrence never got on the same page, and we're seeing that this season. I don't know if you guys saw the route today. Like Brian Thomas Jr. goes on like a slant, and Lawrence threw an out route, and then they talk after, and Brian Thomas Jr. like walks right by him. And I saw a stat that Trevor Lawrence, when throwing to any other receiver other than Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, he has the best passer rating in the NFL out of every quarterback when he doesn't throw to BTJ or Travis Hunter. So
That's not
honestly,
sustainable.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
is it Trevor Lawrence?
Honestly, it sounds like it's a Trevor Lawrence
It's
thing.
like, why can't Lawrence like throw it to Brenton Strange, throw it to like these no-name guys? Like, yeah, you could. He throws it right, dots him right up.
Sounds like
And
those
then
are easier.
Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, like they can't connect. And I don't know if it's coaching, maybe new system and all of that, but you guys got to figure this out.
Well,
I
it
also
sounds
don't-
like he can't
go ahead.
throw to guys that are covered by the defense's top guys. Because Hunter and BTJ, I did draft BTJ. I have high hopes for him. I consider him in a similar situation as Neighbors. Because wasn't Neighbors last year like he had the highest number of thrown balls to him that were uncatchable? Like that's just not on him. BTJ and Hunter, I think, are too good. And it sounds like, and Jonathan, I'll let you go in a moment. But what you just described, John, it sounds like, I mean, I kind of agree with Drew. It's like Trevor Lawrence is hitting the open windows that are wider with these other guys, the 2A, the 2B, you know, like it, that, and is what I mean, maybe I'm biased because it reinforces what I'm saying, but like at this point, I don't think Trevor's Lawrence is the guy. But Jonathan, you got to take?
Yeah, like I don't know if they track the speed of throwing balls like they do in MLB. Because I will say, in my experience in football, there have been some quarterbacks that can, very accurate, but they throw the ball so hard and it hurts
Unnecessary.
you get
Wentz
like
was
jam
like
fingers
that,
after you
actually.
catch it. Like there's quarterbacks that do that, and it's like it's a
It's a
pain
real
catching
thing.
the balls. I'm like, do I really want to catch?
You're not crazy actually. I know what you're
So I
talking
don't know
about.
Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if he played baseball before. I don't know if he has a strong arm where he's accurate, but he throws it so hard and it hurts the receiver's hands and it
That
causes him
can't
to
be
drop.
the reason though.
I don't know. I wish there was a way to track the speed of each ball that's thrown, because some probably throw harder than others. So maybe that's
I think they do it at the combine now. They do like hardest. They just throw it at the wall and they have a radar gun and they can track it.
Interesting. It's a real thing to Jonathan talk about though.
I mean, look, I think I've said this for a while. Maybe I haven't. Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if he's going to be a bust or not. Obviously, has not met expectations as being the number one pick, and even pre-draft, they were like waiting for him to become a junior so he could go into the draft. They're like, this guy's going to be number one. Definitely hasn't met expectations, but I think he needs a fresh start. How many freaking head coaches has he had? Like 3 or 4. Like it's
So
just,
are you saying like go to a new team?
yeah. Like I honestly expected him to get traded last year, and that didn't happen. And now this year, I feel like.
Yeah, I
It's-
agree.
it's- his
honestly.
time's
Let's
up.
see it,
As a
let's
backup
see
or
him
as a
somewhere
starter?
else. No, like start somewhere else.
Yeah. I just feel like he could go somewhere and
I don't think he's
honestly
ready.
be a backup, and then maybe an injury
Yeah.
like causes him to come up. But he just needs a new
Yeah,
system
that I
and like a winning system.
Yeah.
Well, he was in a perfect situation with Doug. This is what I was saying with Doug Peterson, and what's happening with Mike McDaniel is like sometimes good coaches that I think are fundamentally good coaches tie their fate to quarterbacks that just aren't that good. And I feel like that's what happened because Doug Peterson got him offensive line help in the draft. He's a guy that develops quarterbacks. Urban Meyer the first year wasn't good for him. That's fair.
Yeah, that was probably that.
It's a terrible
that was
situation.
really bad.
It was an anomaly in NFL history too.
Yeah,
to
it
get
was
fired.
just a blip that was like, did that
But
actually
like
happen?
still, he had how many years did he have Doug Peterson? Doug Peterson at least 2
Man
years.
cheated on his wife mid-season after they lost. Like,
Well,
that's
allegedly,
crazy.
allegedly.
Create a video.
No,
of that,
there's
'cause I
a
forgot
video.
Urban Meyer.
Okay.
Well, no, alleged for
There's a video,
Dornovate's sake. It's
There
all
was no
alleged.
AI back then, Caleb. It was him.
Oh, that could have been his daughter. Like nobody knows.
That's worse. That's
grinding
worse.
on him at the bar. It's
I
just,
hope there
anyone without
wasn't
context,
any
it sounds
relation of him at all.
Yes. Well, okay. I'm just saying. For my point is, I think Trevor Lawrence is like he's got his bag. He's fine. I think he could be good somewhere else, but I think it's more on him. It's not the
I think
guy.
his ceiling's met already. Like he's not going to get
For
any-
how hyped he was, I mean, every year there's quarterbacks that get drafted, but like
he was.
I've never
so
seen someone as hyped as Williams,
yeah.
and Lawrence was also high up there. And I just
biggest bust.
how many
in the
other
last
quarterbacks
5
have been?
years.
I mean,
Well,
He's still a
Trey
young
Lance,
guy,
but yeah.
that is still
No,
crazy.
Trey Lance of yeah, that's second.
That's actually interesting. But I don't know. Do you
Josh
guys
Rosen is third.
do you guys so you guys don't think Trevor is the
Jonathan,
fit?
remember?
I remember. DeRozan might be the
Trevor isn't that bad. At least he's playing.
He's not, but it is
Well,
strange.
he
I
was
have BT.
overhyped.
Well, I have BTJ, and I want him to do well. He is him and Neighbors. I have both on fantasy. I'm biased, but I do think they have that superstar X factor talent as a wide receiver, and I question with BTJ if they use him right. And you kind of could say the same for Travis Hunter.
Well, we got one more, and this is from Greg. This was last week, but he sent it at like midnight right after the pod.
Let's hear it.
I wanted to get him
Greg.
on. This is Greg. Greg.
What's up, Dorn Debate? So I'm a diehard Jet fan, and I know we started off 0-2, but I'm still feeling kind of optimistic with our next 2 weeks because we have Tampa and Miami. But I just want to know what you think the Jets' record will be for their next couple of weeks following these last 2 losses.
Thanks,
been a
Greg.
tough-
So yeah, he sent that last week. So obviously he was thinking, all right, Bucks next week, and then Dolphins. So to update, obviously they lost to the Bucks, and now they are 0-3. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor started instead of Justin Fields. John, is Justin Fields gonna be back for Miami?
Yeah, he should be back. He was had just had a concussion, and most quarterbacks nowadays are just missing one game. I mean, so did lose to the Bucks, but if you guys watch that game, the Jets put up a fight. I mean,
hung
blocked
around.
They hung around. Garrett
around,
Wilson went off about 30 fantasy points. I mean, Lazard even had a touchdown. I mean, they were getting tight ends involved. Brees Hall. I mean, Tyrod Taylor actually played well, and it's going to be Justin Fields when he's healthy. But at the same time, like, the Jets actually looked decent, and I might kick it over to Jonathan because I think that the Jets will probably beat the Dolphins, but it won't be an easy game. But then after they play the Dolphins, they got to play the Cowboys. So, Jonathan, what do you think about the next few games for the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They look pretty good. It's just unfortunate they don't feel like an 0-3 team.
Yeah.
They've been the first game they played good against the Steelers.
Lost by 2.
Lost by 2. The second game was kind of they
That
got
was a bit of a
dominated.
blow up. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the next game,
Lost by
today
2.
and like it was funny to see Aaron Glenn like running on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god,
Dude, his celebration.
We'll have to clip this for the TikTok. 'Cause I didn't see that.
Dude, you gotta clip that. That's so freaking funny, dude. That
was
dance
hilarious.
that he was doing after they
Yeah.
returned the kick.
because he actually thought they were gonna win. Like there's a minute
Yeah.
left. You're like,
I reasonably so. Well, a minute left is a little.
yeah. In NFL, you're not safe with this minute. But yeah, I mean the next games,
I mean,
the Dolphins are desperate for a win.
Yeah,
And
that's
they've
the problem. Is like Dolphins are 0-3, Jets are 0-3. That means one of those two teams is going to be 0-4. And
Is
they
that a
both
Thursday
need
night
win.
game? Probably.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday
Yeah,
night.
of course.
Monday,
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah,
I can't avoid it.
No, the NFL does these primetime things that they already see the future.
They hold
They're-
your eyes open. You have to
Watch this shitty game between two 0-3 teams. Right
Miami
now.
was just on prime time. I had
Yeah,
to like.
they're putting the Dolphins on prime time like every
Yeah,
day.
Amazon Prime gets all the most boring games. Second most boring goes to a Monday night.
I mean, I will say that like after that, so they got to play the Broncos. Then they have some easy games. They got to play Panthers, Bengals,
Can we
Browns,
give? Can we
Patriots.
give Greg some like?
There's a lot of
Some
winnable. How are they going to
I'll
give them the
give-
next
okay,
like 5
I mean,
to 6
here-
weeks? Yeah.
Yeah, here's the hope, Greg, because you got to play. Okay, you play the Dolphins twice. They're 0-3, so you still got to play them twice. You got to play the Patriots twice, and they're actually pretty bad. You got to play the Bengals, Browns. I mean, Jaguars, Saints. Okay, so Jets are going to get some wins. They're not going to make the playoffs, so I won't give you too much hope, but you'll get some wins, maybe a little bit further down the line, though.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say about the Jets?
So that's my caveat is if Justin Fields play, because I consider Justin Fields like Daniel Jones. I don't mean to like poke the hornet's nest, but like they're both players that I think were drafted into kind of not opportune situations, but that they're two men that I think are good quarterbacks. This weren't given enough credit. So if Justin Fields is healthy and plays, that Jets defense is, again, I don't want to give too much hope either because the Bills' loss is pretty bad, 30-10. But to be able to put up 32 against the Steelers, to put up 27 against the Bucks, like I think there'll be some interesting fights. I think the Dolphins. Oh, that's interesting. Who I'd pick to win that, but that's very winnable. The Cowboys might be winnable depending on what kind of Dak shows up that day.
And CD, like if CD
And if
plays or
CD
not.
yeah.
Is it,
Like,
Yeah.
You know,
I would say maybe they get over the next 5 games, maybe 3 wins.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
to give you a number, Drew.
not bad.
Or
Yeah, I
Greg,
mean, so the
sorry.
rest of the season, like the 2 like games they have a good chance of probably losing. Obviously, they play the Bills again, and then the Ravens.
Yep.
But honestly, I'm looking at the schedule. Everything else, the way they've been playing, it's possible they
They're
could
all
get lucky and win.
Right, yeah.
I could see it being winnable for some of them. It's just who shows up and who, what kind of players show up. It's interesting though. Well, I don't think they make the playoffs, but I don't know if I'd call them a dark horse, but you almost want to.
What
And it's kind of like John was saying. It comes down to the last 2 minutes. Like the last 2 minutes are crucial. You can't make silly mistakes. It comes down to X's and O's.
Oh, and they have Azaria Thomas. I forgot about that. Saw him at the Senior Bowl, right?
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for the voice messages. And like I said, if you want to send us a voice message, it's going to be the link in the description. Right at the top, it's going to say Speak Pipe. You can click that, hit record, and it sends automatically. It's great.
Love hearing from y'all.
But do it, yeah. Great. I love ending the podcast like this. But yeah, that was an interesting podcast. I got rage baited by Jonathan, and hopefully my mic didn't max out.
I was laughing so hard I had to mute myself.
I always fall for it, Jonathan. You're good at it.
I mean, well, we're on the same side.
It doesn't feel like it.
It's fascinating. Let's close it out.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, go over to our TikTok and our Instagram at Dormitory Podcast. Saw us a follow over on there. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're growing pretty steadily on the YouTube. I think we had like 70 new followers or subscribers last week or this week. So, and we've been getting a lot of views on the podcast, like over 150 on each one. So it's been great. Hopefully you guys
grateful.
are loving it. We're really enjoying this season so far. So thank you guys again so much for watching. And as always, we will see you guys next week.